NFTs represent not only crossing the chasm, but a scale problem, right? To this technology. And so any large brand that gets engaged is going to have to understand what the scale problem is that they're going to create, right? By just, doing what they're doing. And so, that then drives what they do from a technical approach perspective, which then drives the market to provide the services necessary to that technical approach. And this is one of the most amazing things about NFTs is an NFT is not really doesn't meet the promise of what an NFT is if it's not registered in a public blockchain that's decentralized enough, right? And so, I think there's pretty wide recognition that one of those foundational technologies is Ethereum. That's decentralized enough and therefore meets the promise, right? And it's where 90% of the NFT work is being done, right? Anyway, and so that's both a risk for brands as well as a risk for consumers and protocol engineers, right? Because if you go back to the statement I made earlier, which is consumers purchasing goods are not looking at the underlying protocol. They're just, you never do that, right? It doesn't happen generally when you buy, you buy things off the shelf, right? Which is what an NFT represents in the digital sphere. And so not knowing if it's really meeting the promise of what's on the label, it's an NFT, right? Does it really meet the promise of what an NFT is supposed to be? Is it an open ecosystem? Do you really own it? Who are the central parties controlling it? Is it really decentralized such that there isn't a central party, right? Those are all not questions that a consumer is asking. And that actually creates a risk to the underlying protocols, right? Because how do you communicate that message, right? And frankly, it's an opportunity for a lot of organizations to enter the market that have not achieved the decentralization that Ethereum has achieved. And say they are registering NFTs, but maybe not, meeting the promise in the way that Ethereum meets the promise.